It's time for Tech Talk on the Michael Duke Show with lifestyle and technology expert Dr. Tracy Wilen.
7:49 is KBYR News Time. On the phone with us is tech expert. Can't speak this morning. And, of course, career expert as well, Dr. Tracy Wilen, reporting to us live from CES. Good morning, Doctor.
Oh, good morning and Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too. I got to say, I'm a little jealous getting a chance to see all the fancy schmancy stuff out there. Got to be some amazing things going on at CES this year.
Oh, every year there's just something new and exciting, and I always run out of time getting around and, facing the mobs and trying to see some of the technology and hear the keynotes. But it's exciting. The weather's good. It's in the 60s. It's sunny, so it's going to be a good week.
Yep. So tell us, what are some of the things that you're going to be looking at and hitting on as you wander on through CES, and what are the things that we should be looking at, in your opinion, as things move forward?
Well, I have been going to the Consumer Electronics Show for many years, and it used to just be in one convention center. And now it is sprawled across a number of hotels all over the Strip in addition to the convention center. So I actually have to make a plan because I know I'm not going to get to everything. And I really get frustrated because all of the keynote speeches and all the speeches, there's lines out the door or they're, totally filled.
Right.
But here's some of the things, that I want to go see the cars. Every year, the space for the cars has gotten larger and larger and larger. And the one I want to go over and see this morning is the Mercedes car, the autonomous cars, and Audi, because I just think that is fascinating, how the technology is going. And I'm out, live out by Google where they're testing autonomous cars, but some of these vehicles are state of the art,
Yeah.
So, and I just look at that and jobs and say, wow, autonomous vehicles, smart vehicles, what an opportunity for someone who likes car technology and wants to get in at, at a new invention, right, a new track. So cars are big for me, like everybody else. I like to look at the fitness stuff. I'm interested in seeing, I never got the Fitbit watch, bracelet.
Right.
Because I'm looking for more advanced technology. So I'm sort of want to wander over there and see what kind of health and fitness gadgets and, gadgets are over there.
The most interesting thing of all these things is the communication and the interconnectivity of all these things. When you talk about cars, I saw a thing the other day where I think it's Chevy and Chrysler are both really upping their game. They're including a Wi-Fi broadcaster within all of their major, larger vehicles so that people can, have more connectivity inside the vehicle. You talk about health and fitness stuff, and now they've got, they also have a pain management system now that communicates. You strap it onto your knee or your joint or whatever, and it does its electromagnetic thing or whatever it does, and then it communicates with your phone, telling you how much what your pain level is, and everything is connected. It has become such an interconnected deal. It is just amazing to me how everything is talking to everything else.
Yes, and the Samsung CEO gave a talk just on that, the Internet of Things. What does this mean? How do humans benefit from the fact that machines can now talk to machines? And he gave a really easy example of just saying, look, your smartwatch is going to be able to turn on your car.
Right.
It's going to be able to, unlock things in your house. It's going to be so intuitive and helpful for humans. And so the Internet of Things is a big theme. And I do want to see what people have in this category because I want to be able to explain it to people as job and career opportunities. Now, I know I used to work at Cisco Systems, and I know John Chambers, the past CEO, will be there later this week talking about the Internet of Things and what it means to Cisco. So it'd be quite interesting to hear all of the chief executive officer positions on what does the Internet of Things mean to them.
Right. Well, and because it is. I mean, they're talking about everything from, light bulbs that talk to your smartphone. And I mean, just everything is just, the smart home, the electronic locks. Johnny gets home from school and enters the code to get into the door. And the second he closes the door, it sends you a text message that tells you Johnny's home. I mean, just all this different kind of stuff where it is the Internet of Things. Everything is connected to everything.
Oh, it's so exciting because, you say this didn't exist just like a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's here. And again, I look at it from job and career opportunities. That's the lens I wear and say, if I was a kid growing up today, wow, the opportunities that technology can create have just, tripled.
Yeah.
And in fact, the CEO of the CES show talked about technology and jobs, and I was very appreciative for his chat. And he simplified it and just said, Uber and Lyft have created so many jobs. We can't live without Uber and Lyft anymore, which is, sharing your car for rides. And it just didn't exist a year or two ago, and now there's people making livelihoods off of this, and it requires that you need to know how to drive, have a clean record, and a car that meets their standards.
Yeah, well, people in I saw something the other day that said Uber drivers in, like, for example, New York City, they're making $100,000 a year, sharing their car and driving it that way. I mean, there's some terrific career opportunities. And then we interviewed Kip Marlowe the other day. He's an author of an entrepreneurial book. He's talking about how artificial intelligence is changing the job market. He said one of the biggest careers that they're looking for right now, have 3,000 open spaces in, is robotics engineer. Now, if you had said that to me 10 years ago, I'd have said, are you reading an Asimov book or something? I mean, seriously, a robotic engineer is going to be one of the new highlights going forward. It's amazing how technology is changing things.
It is. Well, you can see drones, right? I mean, drones, whether it's military or delivering products. But I definitely see artificial intelligence as a new wave. Again, if people can get interested in it, because now we're not only intelligent, but machines are learning and relearning and getting smarter. So it's a hot field, and not only just on the land. I try to remind people, remember there's jobs underwater. There's a whole other ecosystem going on with networks and infrastructure for shipping and transportation underwater.
Right.
And up in the sky, right? The whole airspace is opening up as well.
Right. Well, and I was just seeing that earlier today. The FAA is going to issue some new things. So there's a whole nother technology change that is just on the horizon. We've got to start paying attention to this stuff and adapting to it. And because that's where, that's where the careers are going to happen. That's where the money's going to be. That's where people, really need to be paying. I know a lot of time people are like, oh, I'm happy with what I have. I don't want to look at anything new. You adapt or die, I think is I hate to say it that way, but you got to adapt. You got to move forward, or you're going to get left behind.
Yes, exactly. And I think right now we're living in an age where entrepreneurism is very hot. It's very in, and technology is enabling that. And I think, people can look at solving problems with services, which is really what Uber was doing, is solving problems of transportation with services and using technology to facilitate it. And you don't really have to be a technologist to do that. You just have to say, okay, what problem is occurring in society, and how can I help solve that?
Find a need, fill a need, I think is what we used to call that back in the day, before all the techno speak. That's an axiom that we could all live by. What do you think, as we get ready to round things out here, what do you think is going to be the biggest, biggest, hottest tech thing that young entrepreneurs or job seekers will be? Anything that you see on the horizon that will be good for 2015?
Well, there's a lot of buzz about the virtual reality. So I'd like to go over and look at the gaming systems and see, where is augmented virtual reality and virtual reality going. So, with Facebook buying Oculus, there's a lot of new devices out there. So I'd like to see that. It's always been on the horizon. I think sensors. How is that going to integrate into the Internet of Things?
Right.
And actually, I heard that the cast from Shark Tank is going to be there tomorrow, so I'm going to try to see if I can at least peek my head in. And I understand that Richard Branson is going to be there tomorrow, too. But, I'd love to, just see these people in action. But I'm telling you, the lines are so long, it's difficult.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
I think smart home...
Go ahead.
It's going to be, a big one. So I think a lot of people are going to be milling about the smart home displays. Yeah,
and I think you hit a little thing for me, because like I said, I'd love to go to CES and E3, which is the Electronic Entertainment Expo, where they do a lot of PCs and the gaming stuff. Although that stuff is fun, and there's a bigger market for those of us who are still older. It's not just a kid's thing anymore. The development of technology, like you said, the Oculus Rift, the virtual reality, those things have got practical applications on day-to-day stuff. It's going to be amazing. So, Dr. Tracy Wilen, thanks so much for coming in. We look forward to getting the recap from you next time.
Okay, thank you. Happy New Year.